intentionally wanted to do her bodily harm. And they succeeded beyond bodily harm. They killed my child. They shot my child with an AK-47. For no reason other than I'm pissed off at somebody, so I'm going to make everybody pay. My parents lost their only grandchild. My sister loses her only niece. That was all we had. Everything I had and fought for and worked hard for was for that child. All gone in a blink of an eye. And it's sad, you know, for me to walk into, I mean, you just don't even, I didn't even know how to call my parents. How do I explain to my parents that my child is dead, their grandchild? That was the worst contemplating situation in my life. I was on the scene. I didn't even know what to tell her father. I didn't even know, how do I even tell my job? I mean, just the thoughts going through your head was just unbelievable. Yes. And I had to make that call to her father to tell my ex-husband that my daughter, my only child, his daughter, was dead because of some nonsense. And that was just heartbreaking. My parents flew to the hospital, got stopped by the police. They were going so fast, and, you know, they were just distraught. And they explained to the officer what happened, and he let them go, told them to drive safely. My child was dead prior to getting to the hospital. It was, honestly, I think my daughter was dead on South Capitol Street. They didn't want to, I guess, you know, say that until they were sure. But due to the injuries and the sizable hole, gaping hole in her head, and her head was just wide open. And when I got to the hospital, I demanded to see my daughter. I couldn't see her on the scene. So I finally saw my daughter. They allowed myself and her father to go see her. And then my parents went in. And I didn't allow anyone else to see her other than the four of us. Walked into this room, saw my beautiful child laying on the table looking like she was asleep peacefully. But she had her right eye partially open. And her teeth, her lip was kind of up. You could see her little tooth a little bit. So I was thinking, she doesn't look bad. You know, I know what they said, and I know what the doctors just came out. So I'm like, you know, this isn't real. You know, I can take her home. I approached her body laying on that slab, and I just laid down on her and kissed her, and she was so cold, so cold. And I knew then that what I heard was not a dream, and, you know, but I was like, you know what, the hospitals are always cold. I'm still not going to accept this. Yeah. This is just a cold hospital. That's how they always are. So I know my child is okay. So I'm kissing her and I'm telling her to get up. You know, I'm going to take you home. Mommy's going to take you home, you know, like we always do. Because, you know, we came in the hospital. We were just at the hospital a weekend I had prior for a medical condition of hers. So I was like, Rochelle, we're going to get home. It's going to be okay. You know, I'm not accepting this. And like I said, she wasn't just cold. I could feel her stiffness. Rigor mortis had set in. So now I have to find me another way to make my brain understand I'm not accepting my daughter is dead. This is not going to be my life. So I'm trying to rationalize in my brain, why is my daughter so stiff? So I'm like, okay, they got her wrapped up like this little mummy here. That's what's going on. I'm not accepting it. And I kept talking to her and telling her to wake up and come on.